Alright, for today's flip lesson, we're going to talk about the geography of Rome. Now, Rome is a city in the country of Italy on the continent of Europe. Italy is a peninsula. Remember, a peninsula is a piece of land surrounded by water on three sides. The difference between a peninsula and an island is that a peninsula is three sides of water. An island is a piece of land surrounded by water on all sides, so don't get them confused. The peninsula of Italy is 3 times the size of Greece, so it is much larger. It is shaped like a boot. Here in a few minutes, you're going to look at a map of Italy and Rome, and you'll notice that if you look at it, it is in the shape of a boot. Rome could easily reach several areas that made them good trading partners with other areas. Some of those areas include the Middle East, Greece, Spain, and northern Africa. Most of Italy was either hills or mountains. Now, the areas that were not hills or mountains, there were really three main areas. These are called fertile lands, or areas that are easier for farming. Those areas include the northern plains, which is really pumped with water by the Po River. You have the area of Latium, which is produced by volcanoes, and volcanic steam helps that out. And you have Campania, which is helped out by volcanoes as well. You also have 3 main rivers in the Rome Italian Peninsula area. You had the Po, you had the Arno, and you had the Tiber rivers. Rome developed on the shoreline of the Tiber River because the water source for homes, trade, and access to bigger water supplies was available. They didn't go on the Po or Arno because some of this was available, but most of it was not. So they developed Rome on the Tiber River. The final thing that we're going to talk about today in Rome geography is the climate of Rome. You have rainy winters and hot summers. This is called a Mediterranean-style climate. When you have rainy winters and hot, dry summers, that's called a Mediterranean climate. In the north around the Po River, it was snowy winters, summer rain, and wet springs, much like the United States, a majority of the United States is today. You also have several resources in Rome and in Italy. You have wheat, which is used to make bread. You have grapes, which we talked about before, and you have olives, which we have also talked about before. They also have 3 main resources that you are hopefully going to be a little bit surprised about. The first one is concrete. They were actually one of the top exporters of concrete for 1,000 years or so. It basically was a mixture between volcano ashes and water, and they mixed it up and you got concrete. You also have copper and iron. Iron was used to make architecture and columns and other monuments in Rome and in the Middle Ages, which is our next unit. This ends the geography of Rome. We will do a mapping activity in a few minutes as soon as you finish.
May I have your attention, please? At this time, please release